Well, hello, it's Friday, April the 3rd, 2020, and we're going to take a look now at the astrology as it is right now as we go into the weekend, and a look across the weekend, and a quick look at next week as well, because we've got a full moon coming up, and it's going to be a pink moon, it's going to be a super moon, it's going to be really powerful. It's actually, I think, the third super moon of 2020, and there is going to be a fourth one, so quite busy with super moons, lots happening, lots changing, and who'd have thought the world would be the way it is today just a few weeks ago, eh? Goodness me. Right, so Friday, April the 3rd, and the moon is in Leo. She is staying there until basically the 4th, just tomorrow, and that's going to be 18 minutes past 9 p.m. in UK time, so 8 hours before that Pacific, 5 hours before that on the east coast of the States and Canada. So it's that time for sort of people wanting to be noticed, not just noticed, but actually to be appreciated. And Leos are often accused of just kind of being all me, but they actually want to be appreciated. There is actually always a desire, not just with Leo people, but with the Leo influence in astrology. There is actually a desire to kind of be doing something that's helping other people or helping the world in some way that is worthy of appreciation. So don't ignore that side of it, friends. You know, if there's a Leo around you who's driving you nuts, or if just someone's driving you nuts because it's a Leo moon, just, you know, think of that side of it. There is usually something constructive you can say to them. There is usually something constructive they can actually do to make a positive difference. And so we've got that Leo influence right through until late on Saturday in UK time. And let me see, it's 2:18 p.m. on the Pacific coast, 5:18 p.m. Eastern. The moon is then going to enter Virgo, and we will see a very different side to things then. She is at this moment 70.8% full, not 100% full actually, until the 8th of April at 3:35 a.m. UK time. So actually the 7th of April in the States and Canada. But a super moon, a pink moon, a very powerful experience coming towards us. And as we go through the weekend, it's all going to be about really preparing and getting ready for that. But this weekend itself, it's Leo, it's Virgo, and then it's going to be a Libra moon when she turns full, and that is actually going to come in. Let me just make sure I've got the time right and everything. And yeah, that is actually going to be a Libra moon from Monday, and so she will actually be in Libra when she turns full. But more about that as we go along. I will make another video before then. Today, April the 3rd, Mars in Aquarius is going to quincunx the North Node, and the North Node is in Cancer at the moment. Now that is what they call a minor alignment, but I've no doubt we'll see it playing into our lives one way or another. These alignments have been noticed by astrologers and by everybody else for a reason. So North Node in Cancer, lots of compassion there, a certain amount of frustration going on as well, and of course this is a time which is playing on all of our hearts and minds, and bringing a lot of compassion to the fore, which is wonderful to see. But we might see some impatience around that, and it might be difficult to really go forward as strongly and as powerfully as we want to. Also today, Mercury in Pisces conjunct Neptune, also in Pisces. Now Mercury all to do with communication, so that is going to be involved with the Neptune influence, and Neptune is a far-flung planet, but it doesn't stop it affecting us. It is still quite a powerful thing, but both of those are in Pisces, so we are looking at helpfulness and compassion and a good deal of cheerfulness around that as well. That's today, Friday the 3rd. Tomorrow, on Saturday the 4th, well, as well as the moon going into Virgo, we've also got Venus in Gemini, trining Saturn in Aquarius, and so anything to do with love or money gets then involved with the Saturn side of things, which can be very generous. It has a lot to do with our giving, does the sign of Saturn, and Saturn being in Aquarius at the moment is going to make a difference all in its own way. But that's a trine, that's a positive alignment, and it is quite powerful as well. Then we get further into April the 4th, Saturday, and Sun quintile Mars. Okay, Sun, everything to do with leadership, whether that's leadership over your own life, leadership over a group of people, or leadership in any way that you can see it being expressed, really. And it is all about what you can see, you know. All astrology is about the amount of sunlight that reflects off the moon, and it's about what what we can see. Any of the planets that go into retrograde, it's just the way we look at them. They don't necessarily move backwards, but as they go through space, they appear to move backwards because they're zigzagging away from us or towards us. That's the thing. So it's all about what you can see. Also, April the 4th, it's a busy one actually, April the 4th, goodness me. Also, April the 4th, Mercury in Pisces, semi-square Uranus in Taurus. So, a good deal of earthiness about that, actually, and a certain amount of earthiness coming into all of our communications as we go through the weekend because of that. Also, Jupiter in Capricorn, conjunct Pluto, also in Capricorn. So, there's less of a kind of play-off against each other thing, more of a coming together with the Jupiter influence and the Pluto influence. And Jupiter, of course, being the ruling planet of Sagittarius, I've no doubt that that is going to kind of play into me in some way as well. Sunday is quieter. We will have the Virgo moon everywhere in the world by then, and we get Venus quintile Neptune, a minor alignment, love, money, and the Neptune influence. It's not actually a pulling apart kind of thing with the quintile. It's fairly positive, but also very, very subtle, and I wouldn't really want to overplay it. Okay, so coming up towards next week on the 8th of April, which is going to be Wednesday, the moon is going to go void in Libra, and it's going to be entering Scorpio as we get on further through the day. But before that, really early in the morning, 3:35 a.m. BST, which is pretty much it's GMT plus an hour, because GMT is in Britain, which is now on British summertime, which is why I say that. 8th of April, 7th of April in the States and Canada under the Libra moon. It's actually going to be a supermoon. It's going to be very close to the Earth, and the supermoon is when it comes very, very close to the Earth. It's when it's on the perigee, which is like the perimeter of the Earth. It's as close as she gets to the perimeter of the Earth, so she'll be big. She'll also be pink. That has more to do with the weather than anything else, but it has a great deal of meaning, and particular people kind of associate it with love and romance, a lot of it. Now, and that is an interesting one at this time, because in terms of love and romance, I do a lot of readings, and suddenly no one's that interested in relationships at the moment. No one's that interested in finding new relationships at the moment, because if ever there was a time when you don't want to be exchanging bodily fluids with people, goodness me, it has to be now, doesn't it? Unless it's someone you regularly exchange bodily fluids with, of course. So that is a difficult one, though, because the human mind and the human soul are always kind of involved in that intrigue. We've just got to go that bit further and spend that bit more time with all this quarantine and stuff going on, and that is going to have such a positive effect that we will actually come out of this quarantine thing, and life will actually get back to normal at some point. So don't just kind of feel you've got to shut your heart away in a closet and not respond to anything, not do anything about love, not do anything about romance. That full super pink moon is what it's all about, and it's happening for a reason. The planets never stop going through their cycles, whatever's going on, and human nature is like that. We never stop either. So that's a look at the weekend, and that is kind of a pre-look at the full moon. The lunar energy is building up a lot, and it's becoming more and more intense as we get closer to that full super moon. So it's quite an intense time. The lunar energy is strong at the moment. So keeping it real is so important. There's something very unreal about the world at the moment, but keep it real in your heart, keep it true in your heart, and I'll see you again very soon. Peace. Now then. Da-da-da.